Gary, the start of a new season is now officially just around the corner. Are you excited for it?
Yeah, I think you get to this point. I've obviously been doing this a while now, and pre-season's great. Pre-season's full of the work, the new work you want to do for the season, the way that you perhaps want the team to improve, bedding in new signings, helping them understand how you work. But ultimately, you get to a point where the games don't quite have the same meaning. The games don't quite have the same intensity, if you like, although some of the games have been of a decent standard. So, and you want the season to start. It's like, when you see the fixtures come out, and you can't wait for that first game in August to begin, the little bit of pre. In some ways, it's easier as a manager. Of course, there's no real pressure pre-season and the off-season, but you actually want that. You want the games to have something on it, and I think the players do too. So, yeah, I think everyone's really looking forward to it, and I'm sure it's going to be another brilliant EFL season for everyone to watch the ups and downs that I'm sure go along with it.
Yeah, it feels like pre-season has been split in two. There's been Indonesia and then since being back from Indonesia. Focusing on our return, do you feel like you've got what you want out of the guys? Do you feel like the squad are ready to get going on Saturday?
Yeah, I think so. I think I spoke about it in some ways. I think there's elements where we're a little bit behind where we'd want to be, but there's also elements where a lot of players, for different reasons, have played a lot of games. So yeah, certainly the team will be fit, the team will be fresh, the team will be prepared, we'll be ready. We'll be no different to a lot of other teams. There'll be other teams out there with one or two knocks and injuries to one or two of their players that they'd love to have everyone available, I'm sure. So we're no different to that. But ultimately, the first game is an opportunity for whichever 11 players start that game. There's a real chance for them to stay in the team. There's a real chance for them to keep the shirt. So whoever's picked, whoever's trying to get in the team, I'm sure there's that real bit of edge about it and a little bit of competition. And yeah, we're looking forward to the first. And it's at home, so we're looking forward to the first home game.
And we take on Portsmouth. It's a club that Oxford United have played more than anybody else in their history. Always seem to play each other in every division as well. So there's probably a little bit extra spice for some of the supporters. And it's a club you know well, you know John well. But when it is a first game of the season, is there much from another club's pre-season you can take, or is it just full focus on us?
I think you take whatever you need to take. You watch their games, they'll watch ours. You see different subtle changes, they'll see subtle changes with ours. I don't think either team are going to be so different that they're unrecognisable. So I think both, John will know a little bit how I play and I'll know a little bit about how he plays. So I don't think it's necessarily about that. I think early season you tend to focus an awful lot on what you want to do as well, because you haven't got a bank of 6-7 games to watch the opposition and see how some of those patterns are consistent and develop. So therefore it's easier to focus on yourself. Again, like you say, there's a crossover. John was at Oxford for a good while, knows everyone here, but I think for him and for me it'll be no different. It's the first game of the season. You want to win it, you want to start the season really, really well. But alternatively, it's the first game, and either way, you want to learn a little bit about your team. So yeah, looking forward to it. Excited to, stand in front of our fans again, a full house. I'm sure they'll come and support us. That's the one thing with pre-season, isn't it? But as well as we've been supported out, even out in Indonesia, there was a load of our fans, wasn't there? But still not the same as a full house, is it? And that little bit of excitement that comes with a first match.
Yeah, this last week added a couple of new players to the squad, Nick Prelitz and Will Lancashire. I know Nick is probably just getting up to speed a little bit more, but gives you some really good options up front.
Absolutely, yeah. We spoke about that from last year. Last year we were all aware that, of course, it's about the service into the front players as well. It's about creating opportunities for them, but we probably didn't get enough goals in forward areas that we would like, and I'm sure the players there would like. Obviously, we're working hard to see if the numbers can be a little bit better for some of those players, and of course they'll be determined to have a better season in front of goal. But at the same time, we've had an opportunity to bring in some extra competition. I think that's important. I think you've got to keep moving forward. You've got to keep strengthening areas in different ways. Both those forward players are both powerful in their own way, but I think they're both a little bit more than just a big striker. In Will, we've got a player that's obviously an excellent finisher, got really good movement, a bit of an all-round striker, and Nick, is one that can play with a little bit more physicality. He's very good in the air. Like you say, he's a little bit behind because he's done a lot of training on his own, unfortunately. which means it's going to take him a little bit to get up to speed. Whereas Will's played games pre-season for Spurs, and it'll be pretty much there anyway. So again, it depends what we decide to go with for the first game. But it's nice to have those options, whether that's from the start or that also strengthens your attacking options late in the game, which, as we know, the impact off the bench in this division is also crucial.
Yeah, just looking ahead to Saturday again and being back in front of our home crowds, it was one of the things that you mentioned last season that you were really taken aback by the support that you received from the moment that you came in. I'm sure you probably had some interactions with supporters over the summer, not in the same way as normal, but just how much you're looking forward to just feeling that energy again of everyone being back together?
Yeah, I think it's, every season's new, every season's different, but I think there's a real good feeling about the club. I think everybody knows at the club what we feel we're capable of. I think we all see the outside expectation of where people maybe see us, but I think that just fuels you even more. That gives you even more motivation as a club to want to prove everybody wrong, So I know our fans will be behind us. I know our fans will be excited for the first day. I think last year, Portsmouth were very similar, where both our home forms were really, really important to staying in the division. And I don't see that. Yes, we want to improve away from home. That could be the difference between finishing somewhere in the middle of a league or upper ends of the league. But certainly home form's crucial, and your first game in front of your fans, you want to try and deliver if possible. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm sure we're all looking forward to a long season ahead. Gary, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Perfect.